What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J-Man back, checking in with the people, back with another video. And today I wanted to do something special. I wanted to do a top 10 most anticipated games of 2022 list. Now, I thought about doing 5, but I feel like 5 would leave out so many games that I'm actually looking forward to that I want to give recognition to on this list. So we're going to do 10. 10 of my most anticipated games. Make sure y'all get in the comment section and let me know what are y'all most anticipated games for this year, because I would definitely love to hear what you guys got to say. And we can have some conversations down in the comment section. But let's start this list off with number 10, and I'm going with Gotham Knights. Now, Gotham Knights is going to be an action role-playing game developed by WB Montreal. If you're not familiar with them, they did develop the Batman Arkham Origins game, which a lot of people kind of slept on because it was more of a prequel and not, something that advances the story. But I felt like Arkham Origins was actually a really good game. And if you are a fan of the Arkham series, you should definitely check that game out. But this game, while not in the same Arkham universe, does follow the story of Batman being dead, quote unquote. I got a feeling that he's gonna pop up at some point in this game. But Batman is dead, and now you're taking control of his former partners, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and Red Hood. And in this game, you can control all 4 characters, not at the same time, but I'm pretty sure you can probably mix and match which ones you want to take on missions and things of that nature. And this game is also going to be playable in co-op, so you can link up with a friend, check it out. But the big baddies of this game seem to be the Court of Owls that you're trying to take down, and then figure out what's going on, as well as investigate Batman's death. So definitely looking forward to this game. They did drop some gameplay for this like about a year ago. It was looking a little bit choppy, but I felt like overall it was pretty decent. It has that RPG feel where the numbers pop up above the enemy's heads, and I'm hoping you can either turn that off or modify it some type of way. But a lot of times those games tend to, when you're fighting, it kind of lacks the impact, and that was a big thing in the Arkham games. When you're fighting those games, you felt the impact of each hit, and when you get into a RPG style, it's a little bit tricky on trying to figure that out, especially when you're fighting big bosses. So definitely still looking forward to it, though. It is number 10 on my list, and I can't wait for it to come out. Can't wait to check it out. So moving on to number 9 on the list, and we got Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I am not a huge fan of Harry Potter. I'm not. The movies, to me, as a kid, they felt boring. I never read any of the books. Like, I tried to read the first one, but I never really got past that. But I always felt just that, like, a Harry Potter game, or a game in this universe where you get to create your own wizard and go through the ranks of learning different magic spells, playing Quidditch and stuff like that, or just living the lifestyle of going to the Hogwarts school, I thought would be dope as hell. Like, I thought that would be a dope ass game to make and play. And I feel like when they dropped this trailer, it was exactly what I wanted in a Harry Potter style game. So this game has been going through a lot of behind the scenes issues. They had the issues with J.K. Rowling, and her reviews that I'm hearing may affect how you create characters in this game, because there was some disagreement between how she felt in her reviews and stuff like that with the trans community. And it is seeming like that this game might get pushed out of 2022, but a report a few days ago came out that it's going to make 2022. I'm hoping it does make 2022. Of course, I want them to take their time with it, but I'm looking forward to this game. I want to see more. We haven't seen it since the reveal over a year ago, so I'm hoping we get to see more of this game this year, and I'm looking forward to it coming out. Next up on my list at number 8, we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, this game is developed by Rocksteady, the makers of the Arkham series, at least Arkham Knight, then you had Arkham City, and then of course Arkham. What was the first game they made? How did I forget the name? Arkham Asylum, So Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight was made by Rocksteady, and they kind of went quiet after that. So ever since 2015, we haven't really heard much from them. And everybody was just wondering what they were going to do next. Was it going to be a Superman game? Was it going to be a Wonder Woman game? Was it going to be a Justice League game? No, they came out and announced that they're doing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, I thought this was an interesting choice for a game for them to make. The first Suicide Squad movie didn't really hit for me. I thought it was boring, but I thought the characters were interesting. And then the newest Suicide Squad movie that came out, I thought was actually pretty good. So I'm interested in seeing these characters in action. You got Harley Quinn, you got Boomerang in the game, you got Deadshot, and you got King Shark. So playing as those 4 characters, they did drop a gameplay trailer recently, and I thought the gameplay looked pretty good. It is a next-gen only game. While not impressive for a next-gen only game, I still thought the game looked good. I still thought the gameplay looked good, and I'm still looking forward to playing this game this year. Now, will this game come out this year? If you ask me, no. If you ask me, no. But it would be nice if it did, because it is on my anticipated list. So, next up on my list, coming in at number 7, I believe we're on number 7, right? Yeah, number 7 is Sifu. Sifu is a beat-em-up action-adventure game made by Slow Clap. I don't know if any of you heard of Slow Clap before, but they are the makers of Absolver, a fighting game that I thought looked okay, but I never played it. You know, it was never something that really piqued my interest. But I think this being a beat 'em up fighting game, while, you know, similar to Absolver, I felt like this game, the setting and the characters is what, you know, has me really interested in playing it. The kung fu fighting style, the way your character ages as you die. So in this game, when you get killed or when you get beat up to your death, they age your character, and if your character gets too old, you lose and you got to start all the way from the beginning. But as you age, the positive in that is that you get to gain more abilities and learn more combat moves and things of that nature. So it's kind of like a tricky situation on how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to stay young, you might not learn some good moves that'll help you progress through the game, or maybe progress easier. But if you keep dying, you might get those moves, but you die too much and it's a wrap. You got to start all over. So I think that dynamic is very interesting and very dope. And I can't wait to play this. It's supposed to be coming out February 8th, which will probably be the first new game I'm playing this year. And yeah, man, I'll probably have some content on the channel for this. First impressions, things of that nature. So definitely check it out on the channel. Next up on my list, coming in at number 6, we got Final Fantasy 16. Now, this game, of course, Square Enix, coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. It does not have a release date, but it is slated to come out in 2022. They recently came out and announced that due to COVID, the game had to be delayed. Now, there was no official release date, but they just saying internally, basically, it is delayed. And they will have more to announce in spring 2022. Now, I'm not this huge Final Fantasy fan that have played all the games. The first Final Fantasy game I ever beat was 15. And I thought, while the story was all over the place, I did enjoy the characters a little bit, especially towards the ending. But I thought the combat was phenomenal in that game. And after seeing the trailer for Final Fantasy 16, the combat in this game looks absolutely amazing. And that is what really piques my interest. The story actually seems pretty dope so far too, based on what we know of from the trailer. So they got me hooked. And we've only seen one trailer back before the PS5 even came out, and nothing since. So I can't wait for spring so that they can show us more of this game, because this game is looking fire. So next up on my list, at number 5, we got Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Dying Light, made by Techland, was one of my most was the most slept on game, I felt like, of last generation. The first game I thought didn't review too great. It was, in the 70s, I believe, but I felt like the people who actually played it, outside of the journalists, felt that it was much better than what the reviews stated. And I agreed. I thought it was one of the best new IPs of last generation and the most slept on game of last generation. If you get a chance to check out Dying Light 1, but Dying Light 2 is around the corner on February 4th. So actually, this will be the first game I'm playing that's new of 2022, and I will be having content on the channel for this game because I can't wait. I think Dying Light 2 looks fun as hell to play. It's 20 years after the first Dying Light, so you have more tribes and communities that have been created and things and factions and stuff like that you have to align yourself with in certain type of ways in order to get what you need to get in the game. And they showed one of the gameplay trailers early on that depicted some of the decisions that you have to make in this game that actually impact the story. And I thought one of the ones that they showed was important because a lot of games, when you get that decision to make, it doesn't have an effect overall on the story. Whereas this decision that the dude made in the gameplay, it directly showed you the impact, and it was an immediate impact, and what the ramifications may be because of that decision that he made. So this game, I thought they've done a good job for the most part covering it up until launch. They kind of being a little spooky about the console gameplay, and it's giving us Cyberpunk 2077 flashbacks. So I plan on getting it on PS5. It's gonna have 3 modes for ray tracing, 4K, and performance. So that's a positive at least. But I'm still a little skeptical about them hiding the gameplay for the most part for this game. So I'll probably be waiting for reviews and coverage from the outside media because I want to make sure it's going to be a good solid game before I purchase it. So I might get this on day 2, depending on when the reviews and stuff come out. But next up on my list, Elden Ring. Elden Ring from Software. What can I say about this game? I have a video on my channel already breaking down the gameplay. Make sure y'all go check that out. I think this game looks phenomenal. I haven't played all the Souls games, so for me, being that this game kind of looks similar to like a Dark Souls 3, but I joke around, but I said like it's Dark Souls 3 with a jump button in the open world. I mean, to me, that's not a terrible thing. The From Software formula, it works. Would I like to see them improve on their graphics? Hell yeah. We saw what Blue Point did with Demon Souls. Like, why can't we get From Software to make games that look like that? But it's the gameplay loop for me that's always gonna win. Gameplay is always gonna be king for me. So the gameplay loop looks fantastic. It being open world, so you can approach quests and the story however which way you want. Of course, it's gonna have the staple things like co-op and stuff like that in there, so you play with your friends, stuff like that. It's gonna be hard as hell. You getting bodied by basic enemies just because you want to be greedy. You still gotta pace yourself. You still gotta play smart. You have the horse in this game, so to make traversal a little bit better with the double jump and fighting on the horse, man, fire. I can't wait. This game comes out another February game, so that's already 3 February games that I'm looking forward to. This comes out February 25th, so it's gonna be tight because I gotta go from Dying Light to Sifu. Now Sifu is not gonna be as long of a game, I'm hoping, because I'm probably spend a little more than 4 days on Dying Light to beat it and get what I need out of it. So Sifu might have to wait a little bit, but I'm still gonna be playing that in February. Next up on the list, we got the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now this is slated to come out in 2022. We've gotten a few trailers for this game, showing a little bit of the gameplay, talking a little bit about the story. It looks like more Breath of the Wild, with some added elements. We see him diving in from the sky, so that was something that was interesting to see. We see a couple other things going on that leans towards it being more creative. That's one thing I loved about Breath of the Wild, and I still love seeing to this day, is using the gadgets in this game and the creative ways people have been traversing and taking enemies down. And just the attention to detail in Breath of the Wild, where it's like a game where it's like if you can think of it, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? I remember playing the game for the first time and like chopping down a tree and then combining it with the leaf and making a raft and stuff like that. It's like, yo, that's fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's fire that I thought I might be able to do that, and I was able to do that. It's like a big ass sandbox type of game. Like as a kid, you're in the sandbox, create whatever your imagination wanders to. I'm pretty sure it's still gonna have you battling the elements and having the proper gear to take down the elements. The weapon dismemberment, I hope they don't remove that, because I thought it added a level of strategy to the game, and you have to play smart and choose your weapons wisely that you want to use on which enemies. I enjoyed that. Probably one of the few people, but I did like it. So I hope they keep that. And this game is, like I said, supposed to come out this year. Hopefully so, because I'm looking forward to it. But I do see this game not making it this year. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with that 2022 title slapped on this game. I don't think it's going to make it. But we down to the final 2 games on my most anticipated games list. And coming in at number 2, we got Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Zero Dawn, which was the first game, was easily my most beloved new IP of last generation. From the first trailer on, seeing Aloy take down the robot machines was like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, this is really a game? This is really a game. Like, I just don't think they get enough credit, Guerrilla Games that is, for the attention to detail put into those machines that they've created, and how you have to utilize certain type of bows and weapons to take them down. Each enemy has its own set list of weaknesses and strengths, and you could use the focus to analyze each one and see what they're strong against, what they're weak against, to help you take them down. Like, I suggest playing this game on a harder difficulty, because I think that brings out that feature more, where you have to really pay attention and really analyze what those strengths and weaknesses are to take down the enemies. We saw a couple gameplay trailers for this game already. We saw a few story trailers. Definitely story looking very interesting. Lore of Horizon, I think, is another thing slept on, but I think they have themselves to blame, because a lot of it was placed in audio logs and the text that you find throughout the world. So you had to do a little bit of digging for that. But other than that, I think the gameplay looks fantastic. I see a lot of improvements to the human combat, which I think was the weakest point of the Horizon game. I thought that felt sloppy. I thought that felt weak. It didn't feel impactful. But if you watch that first gameplay trailer, I think they did a good job on addressing that. And she has, of course, new gadgets to utilize in the open world, and a lot more free climbing they're promoting in this game. So man, it's sounding like the sequel we all want and deserve for Horizon. Now, they haven't showed it yet, and I'm hoping they're keeping this a secret for the game, but please let us be able to fly on those sun wings, man. Please. I hope we don't have to wait for a third game for that. Please let us fly on the back of those sun wings. Thank you. But last, and certainly not least on my list, the number 1 most anticipated game of 2022 for me is God of War Ragnarok. Now, God of War Ragnarok is a sequel to God of War 2018, which actually just dropped on PC. So if you've never played it and you have a PC, go check it out. I'm hearing it's a very great port, and the game looks amazing. It looks amazing. I watched a lot of content on that, and it does look great. But what is there to say? It's the sequel to easily the top 3 best game of last generation and God of War 2018. The story continues of Kratos and Atreus. He's looking a little bit older. Kratos is looking a little bit more grizzly, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of questions to be answered with the start of Ragnarok. We got Thor, of course. We all know he's going to be in this game. Will Odin show up? Tyr was in the trailer, you know what I'm saying? They find Tyr, and is he going to help them out and join them in the journey? Revisiting the realms. Hopefully they added more detail, more missions, more weapons in this game. We had 2 last game. Hopefully we get Thor's hammer, as well as other things. It's just I just want more God of War. I want better boss fights in this game. I felt like it was a lot of trolls in the first game as far as the main boss fights. So hopefully they can vary it out and give us more boss fights in this game. The Valkyries were actually really good fights in the previous game, but they were like side fights and things of that nature. So, yeah, new characters. Freya, you know what I'm saying? She's on a mission to take Kratos down. And, you know, after what we did in the first game. So, you know, she's probably going to be hunting us throughout the game. We're probably going to have to fight her at some point. So it's a lot to look forward to. No release date yet for this game, but they are doubling down on this game coming out in 2022. So I do have confidence that it will make it after being delayed from last year. And yeah, guys, that's my list, man. That's my top 10 most anticipated games of 2022. Please get in the comment section and let me know whether it's 5, whether it's 1, 10, however long you want to make your list. Let me know what your most anticipated games are. Of course, rate the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch y'all on my next one. Peace.